Hi, I'm Paul Heney, Editorial Director for Design World, and joining me here today is Lisa Eitel, our Senior Editor, Lee Teschler, our Executive Editor, and Steve Meyer, our Contributing Editor. Second full day of NI Week, Wednesday. It was a great day, more great keynotes, some really interesting technical sessions. We were down on the floor with the video camera. Obviously the IoT, the Internet of Things, is always a big topic here at NI Week. Someone today at one of the sessions mentioned it's sort of like the Borg, resistance is futile, so don't even try and avoid it. They had 10 pretty major companies up on stage today talking about how they were involved in the IoT. We saw Intel did some interesting things with wearables. They're partnering with a lot of different companies, consumer fashion brands that many of you probably know, Fossil, Barney's New York, Oakley was one of them. We had PTC did a really neat thing with a bicycle, and they were kind of projecting data onto a live image of the bike. IBM was another interesting one. They had some details on predictive maintenance and how they can cut 30% of the cost and 45% of the downtime by using predictive maintenance. So let's see what everyone else thought was interesting today. Steve, let's go to you first.
National Instruments had a number of applications of their robot operating software that is a general platform that works with LabVIEW. That's a niche for the general robot industry, but for LabVIEW it was particularly interesting because it allowed customers to thread more complex subsystems together. So a robot and vision combination becomes really easy to put together in LabVIEW, where in past it's been a very difficult integration to perform.
Student projects are always interesting to see at NI Week, and this year is no exception. One of the standouts was a bicycle built for nobody by students in China. It's actually driven by a little remote control like you'd use for piloting a little radio-controlled plane. It's got a gyroscope that's placed in the back and controls the bicycle simply by noting the steering angle on the handlebars and by adjusting it. There's 3 motors on it, one for the handlebars, one to power the bike, and one for the brakes. And it's pretty interesting to see that thing rolling around a track by itself. The other interesting student project was a wheelchair that can climb stairs by a couple of students in Germany. The most interesting aspect of that is they designed this thing for one of their colleagues, and they balanced it for his weight, so he can actually control it by shifting his weight forward and backward, and climbs the stairs by kind of lowering a track and going up backwards.
Great. I attended another session today. This was a soft motion session, essentially a hands-on seminar, letting those completely new to LabVIEW to play around with this API and set up a stepper motor system with a compact Rio and the LabVIEW. I found that the session was completely full, so I got the chance to sit with an engineer from Procter & Gamble, Brad Walsh. We worked through the session together. I think the best part about it was that the teachers in the session were really helpful with those of us who had never used LabVIEW before.
Thanks, everyone. And if you're watching and you haven't checked out our Cover It Live coverage of NI Week, please check it out. It's at mobilehydraulictips.com, something new we're trying out. And again, we've got some good feedback, but if you have any thoughts, we'd love to hear it. And as always, you can find all your need-to-know engineering videos at www.designworldonline.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.